explain it again. Okay, so what we did last time, I can just sum it up, that we were doing the structure of the gas exchange system and the adaptations, right? Trying to study what are the functions of the gas exchange system, how is the lung adapted to perform the exchange of these gases, right? And what we did was that we studied the basic general parts of the respiratory system, the names of the various parts of the respiratory system, and then we moved on to study how each and every part looks like in detail, right? So what we studied was that trachea, which is a hollow pipe and which is lined by pseudostratified columnar epithelium, has these four layers: mucosa, submucosa, cartilage, and serosa. So what I'll do is, I just want you to use your memory and try to see all these four layers, identify them, and then I will ask you a question instead of me repeating this, right? Okay. Then it looks like this, in which scattered in between the epithelial cells are the goblet cells. Okay, so do you remember the function of the goblet cells?
Yes, Miss. It releases the mucus.
Releases the mucus. And then what is the function of the cilia?
Miss, they move back and forth to move the dust trapped in the mucus to the back of the trachea.
Exactly. Cilia are sweeping back and forth in a metachronous rhythm, so as to sweep the mucus that has trapped the dust particles in which direction? The mucus is swept in the upward direction or in the downward direction?
Miss, the downward direction.
Upward direction. Upward direction, because what is this? These cilia are found in the trachea, right? Over here. For example, the cilia are found over here, right? They are beating and they are sweeping the mucus that has trapped the dust particles in the upward direction so that it can now be swallowed. अब वो mucus हम swallow करेंगे किसमें? Into the esophagus, and the esophagus will, of course, open into the stomach, and the stomach has HCl in it, which will kill these trapped dust particles. They might have, the mucus might have trapped bacteria also. So in this manner, what is happening, that even by chance, if we inhale air which is contaminated with bacteria, with toxins, with foreign bodies, that dirty air, the dirt in the air is trapped by mucus. The mucus is beaten or swept by the cilia, and then that mucus is swallowed mixed with saliva into the esophagus, and then from the esophagus it reaches the stomach, and the HCl is going to take care of all those toxins and bacteria, or maybe viruses. Is that clear?
Yes.
Acha. Going back to the same diagram, so the mucosa is made up of the pseudostratified columnar ciliated epithelium. Then we have the submucosa. The submucosa is rich in smooth muscle fibers and the elastic fibers. Let me just note down elastic fibers over here. Beneath the submucosa, we have the cartilage layer, okay? And the cartilage layer is very, very unique. It has cells which are located inside these spaces, okay? And we call these cells as chondrocytes or cartilage cells. And then below the cartilage cell, we have serosa. But as I told you, this layer serosa or adventitia is most probably, it's not asked. The examiner does not expect you to know this. So for you, mucosa, submucosa, and cartilage, right? And just beneath the, like inside the mucosa, just beneath this pseudo-stratified columnar ciliated epithelium somewhere here, you will also find lots of blood vessels. I'll show you another diagram. Yes, this diagram has been taken from your textbook. Okay, it's not such a good quality diagram. Now just compare these two diagrams. This one is from your textbook, Mary Jones, and this one is from the Cambridge, right? This looks like a better resolution or a clear picture, but the layers are the same. For example, ये जो आपका epithelial layer है यहाँ पे, It is the same as this layer over here. Beneath the epithelium, pseudostratified columnar epithelium, you have this layer which has lots of blood vessels. तो यहाँ पे भी आपको बहुत सारे blood vessels नजर आ रहे हैं, right? And then we have the smooth muscle fibers or the elastic fibers यहाँ पे हैं जो इतनी clear नहीं है. And this entire layer, ये जो आपका लेयर अगर आपको इस तरह के ना स्पेसेस के अंदर सेल नजर आ रहे हैं, so this is your cartilage. Okay, now this is a question for you, Alia. Is cartilage a continuous layer or is it in the form of a C shape?
It's in the form of a C shape.
It's in the form of a C shape, right? And we can see this C shape in this diagram of trachea. So this is how your trachea looks like, okay? And your cartilage is in the form of C shape. This part of the trachea is made up of the trachealis muscle. So it is devoid of any cartilage. और trachea के पीछे आपका windpipe है, right? अच्छा, and then now I think most of the things I had already told you. यही वो सारी चीजें ये मैंने बना के दिखाया है. So this is your pseudo-stratified columnar ciliated epithelium. This is the layer in which you find lots of blood vessels. And then these are the smooth muscle fibers and the elastic fibers. This is your cartilage, and below the cartilage is your serosa, or another name for the serosa is also adventitia. But again, there is no need to remember serosa or adventitia. Now we move on to okay, let me just do some practice questions with you. In fact, ये वाले practice questions भी हम कर सकते हैं कि this question is about November 14, right? So just a minute. I think it's about this diagram. So just look at this diagram very clearly so that when I move on to the questions which are coming after, so you can remember, they have this pointer A, which is pointing to the cilia or the pseudostratified columnar epithelium. One label line is B, which is pointing to the smooth muscle fibers and the elastic fibers. And C is the cartilage cells. Okay, so let's just keep this in our mind and let's look at the questions. ठीक है? अच्छा, अब questions क्या हैं? The cell types in tissue A have different functions. Describe how these cell types work together to maintain the health of the gas exchange system. So what could be the answer? The cell types work together to maintain the health of the gas exchange system, and we are talking about tissue A. ठीक है? Tissue A देख लेते हैं. This is tissue A. So what would be your answer? What different kinds of cells can you see in tissue A? Yes, Alia.
Miss, it's the pseudostratified ciliate columnar epithelium and the goblet cells.
Exactly. And they are working together to do what? Just now we had a discussion. What are they doing to work? What are they working together to achieve?
Miss, they're moving back and forth to because the goblet cells release the mucus which traps the bacteria and the dirt, and the ciliated epithelial cells, they move back and forth to push the mucus at towards the stomach where it's broken down by HCl.
Correct. 100% correct. Acha. And then another question is, suggest why the cells in tissue B have many mitochondria. Let's look at tissue B. Suggest why the cells in tissue B have many mitochondria.
Miss, B were the smooth muscle fibers, so they they need more, and because Miss, they're doing work, it's related to movement, so they need more energy. So if they have more mitochondria, they can do aerobic respiration at a faster rate and get the energy.
Correct. For example, this question is for this one. Tissue B you can see over here as well. Let's look at tissue B over here. This is also tissue B. Now this tissue B is actually cilia, right? So if I ask you that this over here, the ciliated cells also have lots of mitochondria, so then what will be your answer?
Because the ciliated epithelial cells are also doing movement, so
Movement.
they'll be needing energy.
E- Exactly. The cilia are continuously beating. Beating is a form of movement, right? And every movement needs ATP from cellular respiration. So that's why tissue B has lots of mitochondria. Acha. Now, this is another electron micrograph which is taken from the cells of the ciliated epithelium of the trachea. And now you can see two cells, this cell and this cell. Okay? I'm giving you 2 to 3 minutes to identify which cells these are. Until then, the azan will finish. Hmm. What do you think this cell A or both cell A are? The one at the top and the one below. They look like what cell?
Means the elongated, means they can be mitochondria.
No, mitochondria never look like this. They are goblet cells. And the reason that they are goblet cells is that they are loaded with so many vesicles. And all those vesicles are full of mucus. Right? They are goblet cells. अगर आपके कभी भी goblet cell पे कोई question आता है तो इसी तरह से ही आएगा. Right? So both of these are goblet cells and you can see that they are. अच्छा, another thing is कि ये अब आप देखो ये भी एक goblet cell है, right? And this is also a goblet cell and they are situated close to what? They are situated close to the cilia. And this goblet cell, it seems as if it's sort of unloading its mucus over here onto the cilia, right? Similarly, this is also a goblet cell and we can see lots of secretory vesicles in the goblet cell. This is the nucleus of the goblet cell. ठीक है? एक आपको और भी तस्वीर दिखा रही हूँ मैं goblet cell की. Another picture. Again, a high power electron micrograph of a goblet cell. तो ये देखो आप, these are your cilia. ठीक है? Lots of cells here. These are the pseudo-stratified columnar ciliated epithelium. ये भी हैं सारे cells. In fact, ये सारे cells हैं. This is one cell. This is one cell. ठीक है? This is another cell. बहुत लंबे लंबे cell होते हैं, right? And this one, which I am highlighting in red, is a goblet cell. ये वाला. ये देखो goblet cell. Now, did you get it? Is this clear?
Means the ones which are in black.
These ones? ये
Means
सारे?
the ones which you make in black. Or, yeah, miss those.
हाँ, अच्छा, the black ones are the pseudo stratified columnar ciliated epithelium. ऐसे ये देखो, one, then two, and only three are shown. This is the third one. ये side से इसका nucleus नजर आ रहा है. And this one, which I have circled in the red color, right in the middle, is the goblet cell. Goblet cell की पहचान ये है कि you see so many vesicles inside the goblet cells that are full of mucus. Yes. Are you understanding or are you still confused?
No, miss, this is okay. But miss,
Okay.
there are lighter regions in all three cells. So miss, that's the nucleus.
Which light regions? This one or these ones?
Miss at the base, miss. Do circular
The,
regions.
acha, acha, okay. I am going to highlight the nucleus in blue color. This is the nucleus. This is the nucleus. This is the nucleus. And this is the nucleus of the goblet cell. Clear?
Okay, miss. Okay.
Hmm. And these cells, to me, these cells, they look like mitochondria. जो आपके छोटे छोटे से cells नजर आ रहे हैं ना, ये वाले, ये है, this one. These are mitochondria. Lots of mitochondria. Let me now rub everything, okay? And let's just focus on the goblet cell. Goblet cell को देख लेते हैं. देखो, goblet cell को अगर आप गौर से देखोगे, so many vesicles, ठीक है. अब क्योंकि vesicles हैं और यहाँ पे exocytosis हो रही है, तो it should have mitochondria. तो इसके अंदर भी mitochondria हैं जो कितने clear नजर नहीं आ रहे. I'll just circle one of these. This is a mitochondrion. This is the mitochondrion. What light सा है. And this looks like, to me, this looks like Golgi. RER भी होगा. यहाँ पे कहीं RER है जो कि इतना क्लियर नहीं है, right? But I did tell you that day when we were discussing about the adaptations of the goblet cells. So what did we discuss? कि a goblet cell technically should have lots of RER, ribosomes, it should have Golgi, and it should also have lots of mitochondria. All these organelles are present inside the goblet cells so that it can facilitate secretion of mucus. क्योंकि secretion is an active process. और क्या secrete हो रहा है? Glycoprotein secrete हो रहा है. तो इसका मतलब protein synthesis होगी. तो अगर protein synthesis होगी, so ribosomes का काम है. If the secretion is an active process, so we need ATP. For ATP, we need lots of mitochondria. And also, once a glycoprotein has been synthesized, it needs to be packed and processed in the Golgi apparatus. So we need all these organelles inside the goblet cell. एक और भी organelle हम लिख लेते हैं यहाँ पे, mitochondria. Is this clear?
Yes, Miss. It's clear.
Okay, we did this. I've shown you many pictures. अब अच्छा, ये एक picture थी electron micrographic, and then there is another picture which is clear. Look, this is also a goblet cell. Secretory vesicles, RER with lots of ribosomes, Golgi, nucleus, mitochondria. ठीक? And in fact, this goblet cell also has microvilli. हो भी सकता है कि goblet cells के पास microvilli हो to increase the surface area. अच्छा, another picture. ये थोड़ी सी इतनी अच्छी picture नहीं है, but it will give you some understanding. Look, let me draw cilia. Cilia ये रहे, ठीक है, जो नजर नहीं आ रहे छोटे छोटे से. These are the cilia. ठीक? अच्छा, when I say pseudo stratified columnar ciliated epithelium, तो इसका मतलब है ये रहे आपके pseudo stratified cells, columnar cells. Columnar इसलिए कि इनका shape column की तरह है. 1, 2, 3, 4, फिर 5, and then 6, 7, 8 and so on. इनके बीच में एक मोटा सा जो सेल होगा ना, उनके बीच में कहीं कहीं पे, that's the goblet cell. Now you see the difference?
Yes, Miss.
ठीक है, तो अब now it's your job to know the difference between these cells. ये आपके हैं pseudo stratified columnar ciliated epithelium, और ये जो बीच में पड़ा हुआ है ना, ये वाला, this is the goblet cell, and it is the job of the goblet cell to secrete the mucus. अच्छा, now we've done trachea, and now let's move on to some other variety of tissues. अभी तक हमने जो है ना trachea के सारे layers पढ़ लिए, लेकिन अब now your syllabus asks you to know the details about every different kind of tissue which is found in the trachea. तो एक एक tissue के बारे में हम गौर से पढ़ेंगे. The first thing is cartilage. ठीक है? Cartilage is a very very tough tissue. बहुत tough सा tissue है. Its function is to give mechanical strength to the trachea so that it doesn't collapse. ठीक है? And in the trachea, it is found in the form of a C shape. Cilia के बारे में मैं पहले से ही बता चुकी हूँ, right? Its job is to beat in a continuous manner so as to brush or waft the mucus in the upward direction towards the larynx so that we can cough it out. कभी कभी हम अपने बलगम को बाहर भी निकालते हैं, and sometimes we swallow it, right? What is the function of smooth muscle? Smooth muscle भी जो है ना, वो कहाँ है? बिल्कुल म्यूकोजा के नीचे है ना smooth muscle, सब म्यूकोजा में. So just like any other muscle, its job is to contract and to relax. ठीक है? So when the smooth muscle is contracting and relaxing, it allows the regulation of airflow into the alveoli. Because you see, we don't breathe at a normal speed all the time. if I am running or if I'm climbing up the stairs or if I'm jogging, doing heavy exercise, I will have to breathe faster. ठीक है ना? अब मुझे अगर ब्रीथ फास्टर करना है, इसका मतलब मैं तेज तेज सांस ले रही हूँ. अगर मैं तेज तेज सांस ले रही हूँ तो वो सांस तेज तेज जाएगी मेरी ट्रेकिया में. So then this means there should be some muscle inside my trachea which should contract and relax at a fast speed so as to allow the regulation of airflow. ठीक है? अगर हम जल्दी जल्दी सांस ले रहे हैं तो जल्दी जल्दी कॉन्ट्रैक्ट रिलैक्स होगा ताकि एयर फ्लो रेगुलेट हो सके. ये बात समझ आ रही है आलिया?
Yes.
Right? Acha, I think the meeting time will is just about to end. So I'm ending the meeting and then I'm going to restart again. ठीक है?